Ask for consent of the House to reply.
Does the honourable member have unanimous consent?
Yes.
Yes? Agreed? Agreed and so ordered. The honourable member for Kitchener Centre.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you to all colleagues. It's an honour to join in rising to commemorate the 14 victims of this horrific act of femicide at École Polytechnique 34 years ago. Geneviève Bergeron, Hélène Colgan, Nathalie Croteau, Barbara Daigneault, Anne-Marie Edward, Maude Haviernick, Barbara Klucznik-Widajewicz, Maryse Laganière, Maryse Leclair, Anne-Marie Lemay, Sonia Pelletier, Michel Richard, Annie St-Arneault, et Annie Turcotte. I was 5 years old when these women were murdered simply for being women. Coming from a suburb of Montreal, I grew up in the shadow of this hate. 34 years later, let us not forget the women killed, nor the fact that femicide not only continues to this day, but has worsened. In Canada today, a woman or girl is killed by violence every 2 days, every 48 hours, and that number is rising. Indigenous women and girls are 12 times more likely to be murdered or go missing than any other woman in Canada. Let us also, though, recognize that the perpetrators of gender-based violence are, more often than not, men. And so, as the Minister for Women, Gender Equality and Youth rightfully pointed out earlier, this is not a women's issue. As men, we have a critical role to play in ending gender-based violence. If we're going to root out misogyny and patriarchy, we must stand up, call it out, and lift up the voices of women, girls, and non-binary folks like my incredible colleagues this afternoon, including the Minister, la députée de Bellechasse-les-Etchemins-Lévis, la députée de Shefford, and the member for London Fanshawe. I'm proud to represent a community that has at least acknowledged and declared that intimate partner violence is an epidemic. But as other colleagues have called out, we need far more action. And this includes providing more sustainable funding for organizations like those in my community who are working every day on the ground to end gender-based violence. Violence which we know not only leads to physical and emotional harm to women and their kids, but increased risks to their mental health, social isolation, housing, and financial strains. This action also must include following all 231 calls to justice from the final report into missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls, and as the member for Winnipeg Centre has championed in this place, the National Red Dress Alert System to immediately raise alarms for Indigenous women, girls, and Two-Spirit who are missing. Because to commemorate the lives of the 14 women who never had the opportunity to live out their days means committing to work together to ensure this never happens again. Thank you.